Hello, and welcome to Think About It.
If you tune your ear in and listen very, very closely in the general direction of Wisconsin, the sounds of open weeping that you hear are rather noticeable. They come from the left. This is the group that decided that because Scott Walker put together some plans that would bring his state's budget back in line with reality, he needed to be tossed out. Tens of millions of dollars came into Wisconsin for this campaign, a lot of money coming in on both sides of the issue, but only one side really decided to take some more unusual steps like death threats, determining that Nazism was setting in, occupying the state capitol, and doing a number of things that would be, I think, described as rather thuggish at times. Meanwhile, the only response I ever saw from Governor Scott Walker was a reasoned explanation for his decisions and the realistic appraisal that if the people didn't like it, they could vote him out. So it's all the more unusual in the aftermath of the result, which was, by the way, a blowout in favor of Walker, that we hear the Democrats crying about how this has put democracy in jeopardy, how the people lost their voice, how this is not the way the system was designed to work. I don't understand how that could be. The system was designed so that people could go to the polls and vote on issues and have their will carried out by the legislature. In Wisconsin, the people went to the polls and voted on the issue and expressed their will, which is being carried out by the legislature. How is that not democratic? What am I missing? Oh, I get it. What the left really means is that the only time democracy is really being displayed is when they win. Is when they somehow can obfuscate the issue strongly enough that it ends up being in their favor at the end of the election. You know, like 2008 with the presidential election. It's interesting also in the lead up to what happened in Wisconsin, most of the mainstream media was talking about how this is going to be a precursor of the 2012 presidential election, that this is a bellwether, a barometer for how that could go. And then as soon as Walker pulled away with a resounding victory, they pulled that idea off the table and have declared now that this really is pretty inconsequential. It doesn't really have much to do with anything having to do with Obama. Okay. Well, I know that he sent Clinton in to do whatever bidding they can still get the old man to pull together, and it didn't work. I know that the labor unions were digging up dead names to vote repeatedly, and it didn't work. I know that the age of entitlement, to which the left holds so very dear, is now greatly endangered. And to me, along with the clear, democratically established statement that came out of this vote, that may be the best news yet. My friends, we cannot simply continue spending because it feels good to do it. There are changes that have to be made for the betterment of the nation. I have never yet found anybody who has lost a lot of weight and didn't make some sacrifices along the way. That's what's happening in Wisconsin. And hopefully that is soon what will be happening in Washington, D.C., when a changing of the guard takes place there in a most democratic fashion.